All right, today we're going to tackle some of the biggest ideas about your brain. And you know what? Its main job isn't what most of us think it is at all. And once you get what it's really for, well, it can kind of change how you see everything about yourself.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a really big question, one that seems almost too simple. Why do you have a brain?
I mean, the first thing that pops into your head, right? It's for thinking. You know, to reason, to be conscious, to come up with amazing ideas. That's the whole point, isn't it?
Well, not quite. Look, thinking is an amazing bonus of having a brain, for sure, but it's not its main job. The real reason is way more fundamental, and honestly, it's pretty surprising.
So, what is that main job? It's all about economics. Seriously, your brain is basically the CFO for your body. Its #1 priority is managing your body budget.
And you're not going to believe where the clue for this whole idea comes from? This little guy, the sea squirt.
So, when it's young, the sea squirt is basically a little swimmer. It's got a basic brain, and it uses it to cruise around the ocean looking for a good spot to settle down. That brain is all about controlling movement. But then, here's where it gets wild. Once it finds the perfect rock and sticks to it, it's done moving. Forever. And since it doesn't need to move anymore, it does something incredible. It eats its own brain for energy. Think about that. No movement, no brain.
And that right there, that's the core idea. Your brain didn't evolve for thinking, not primarily. It evolved to run your body and to manage its energy super efficiently. It's just like a bank account. Your brain is constantly making deposits and withdrawals of energy, always trying to make sure you have enough in the tank for whatever's coming next. It's trying to keep you out of the red.
There's actually a cool scientific name for this, allostasis. And it's not about just reacting to things. It's about predicting what your body is going to need. Food, rest, safety, and getting it sorted out before it's an emergency. It's survival on the front foot. Okay, so how does the brain pull off this incredible budgeting act? It does it by doing one thing, all day, every day. It predicts. Your brain is, first and foremost, a prediction machine.
And why predict? It's all about saving energy. Just reacting to stuff as it pops up, that burns a ton of calories. But if you can predict what's probably going to happen next and get your body ready ahead of time, whoa, that is a huge advantage for survival.
And you know what the brain's favorite energy-saving predictions are? Habits. Get this. It's estimated that something like 40% of what you do every single day is just habit. These are all the things your brain has put on autopilot so it doesn't have to burn energy making the same decisions over and over. This frees up all that mental bandwidth for new, unexpected stuff. Okay, so how is the brain actually built to do all this? Let's talk about the hardware, because your brain isn't like a computer circuit board that's fixed and rigid. No, it's a living, breathing network that's constantly changing.
I love this analogy. Think of your brain less like a circuit board and more like a massive network of busy airport hubs. The connections between your brain cells, those are the flight paths. And this setup makes the brain incredibly flexible. If one pathway gets damaged, say a major airport hub shuts down, your brain can just reroute the traffic through other connections. It's a concept called degeneracy, and it's what makes the brain so resilient.
Now, the air traffic controllers in this system are chemicals called neurotransmitters. But they're not just passing on simple messages. It's much cooler than that. They're more like volume dials. Some of them are excitatory. They crank the volume up on a signal. And others are inhibitory. They turn the volume way down, sometimes even cutting the signal off completely.
And here's the amazing part. This whole network is custom-built by your life. When you're a baby, your brain just goes wild, building way more connections than it'll ever need. Then, as you go through life, it starts this incredible process of tuning and pruning. The pathways you use a lot get stronger, faster, more efficient, like well-traveled highways. And the ones you don't use, they just wither away. This is why every single brain on the planet is unique. Yours is literally one of a kind.
Okay, so now that we know how it's built, let's meet the team, the key players in your brain's body budgeting department.
First up, you've got the cerebral cortex, that big, wrinkly outer layer. It's split into 4 main sections, or lobes, and they all work together. So your frontal lobe, up front, is like the CEO. It does the high-level planning for your day, predicting what you'll need to do to keep that body budget balanced. Then you've got the parietal lobe, which takes in all the sensory info to build a map of the world around you so you can move through it without bumping into things. The occipital lobe in the back is all about vision, spotting threats and opportunities, and the temporal lobes on the sides,
They're your memory banks, using the past to help predict the future. See, they're all in it together, constantly trying to manage that energy budget.
You know, for centuries, we've bought into this idea, you can thank Plato for this one, that our brain is a battlefield. It's reason versus emotion, two horses pulling in opposite directions.
Well, modern neuroscience is here to tell you that's a total myth. There is no primitive lizard brain fighting with your logical, evolved brain. It just doesn't work that way. What we used to call the emotional parts of the brain are completely tangled up with the thinking parts. In fact, they are absolutely essential for that whole body budgeting thing. They're involved in every single thought, feeling, and decision you make.
And speaking of misunderstood parts of the brain, let's talk about the cerebellum. Its name means little brain. It only takes up about 10% of your brain's total size, but, and this is going to blow your mind, it contains roughly 75% of all your brain's neurons, 3/4 of them.
So what on earth are all those neurons doing in there? They're running the show for all your automatic skills. Any complex thing you can do without even thinking about it, riding a bike, typing on a keyboard, a cricketer reacting in a split second, that's all your cerebellum. Its job is to take things you practice and turn them into smooth, automatic actions, which, you guessed it, saves the rest of your brain a ton of energy.
So, let's bring this all together. What's the big takeaway here? The most important thing to remember is that your brain isn't some fixed thing you were born with. It's a living, dynamic story, and you're one of the authors.
Your brain is not set in stone. It is physically changing every single day based on what you do, who you talk to, and what you focus on. That whole tuning and pruning process, it never stops, not really. And that leaves us with one last really big question. If your experiences are literally building your brain moment by moment, who are you choosing to become?